Hey, mister, great job today. Let's go over a quick rhythm that I'd like you to do. You can do it with sticks, you can do it with your hands. What we're gonna be concentrating on is that we're gonna be playing a right and then a left, a right and then a left. They're just gonna go back and forth. So when we count to 4, 1, 2, 3, 4. Right, left, right, left. The next one is interesting and I'd love for you to do it to go right, right, left, left, right, right, left, left. The concentration is here. Can you play your foot on the 1? 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. I should put this down just a little bit. The reason being is this is going to help us when we're playing with sticks. So 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1. So when we translate that, we go here onto our kit. Remember last time we were playing the beat, we had 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3. Doing the exercises of going right, left, right, left, right, left, right, left helps us when we're sight reading. So today we sight read a bunch of different notes, but the most important ones that I think what we should pay attention to would be these. In fact, our last examples there. When we have a note and it's not filled in, that's our quarter, our half note. And the half note is worth 2 beats. Because it has a whole note plus a stem, which cuts the whole note in half. So our whole note, which is worth 4 beats, we know that we could fit 2 of these quarters in there. I'm sorry, 2 of these half notes, or we could fit 4 quarters. When we take these 4 quarters, if we keep subdividing, we know that we could take quarters and get eighth notes by doing 2 eighth notes, 1, 2, for each quarter. So if there's 4 quarters, that means we're gonna have 8 eighth notes. Now, I could write these eighth notes like this with little flags, but we don't because it takes forever. So what we do is we just tie the eighth notes together with a bar. Boom. Those are barred. Now we know it's tap, 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 tap for every tap. So 1 tap would be 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, and then 2 taps for each one be. Notice how one hand's only tapping once, and the other hand is tapping twice. Tap, 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 tap. So these eighth notes, when we do those and we do 2 eighth notes, 1, 2, 3, 4, if we were to squish 4 notes in that space, meaning we're still subdividing, and then we play 16th notes, what we get are double. And the way we count that is by saying 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E. Why? Because it's really hard to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. Something happens to our words that they all get kind of jumbled up. So what we do is we count this as whole, half note, quarter, 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 eighth note, eighth note, eighth note, eighth note, 16th note. The way we feel that is 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 1, 2. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1E and a 2E and a 3E and a 4E and So try that this week, and we're gonna talk about this later. The only notes that we got in here that seemed a little hard that you might encounter on the sheet music that I'm going to send tonight is going to be this. When we have a single quarter and it is tied to an eighth note, the eighth note still has its bar, but this is now a 16th note. Why? Because this is an eighth note. Well, a quarter with an eighth note just sounds like this. Triplet, quarter eighth note. triplet. However, when we have a quarter 16th, it has a different feeling. Follow me here. Here's a triplet, triplet. When we have a bar here, it would be quarter, eighth note, quarter, eighth note, dun, 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 rather than da, 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 da. So we don't have a triplet marking over the top of it. And the other idea is when we turn this around and put that marking the other way, that is when we get our triplet, meaning triplet has a quarter, eighth note. It's wonderful to see that you're jumping on these, and don't get weirded out when we see something along these lines. If we had a note, which is a quarter, and then we've got 16th notes and eighth notes, and then a half note, and then a whole note. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. That is 10 beats. We only have 4 beats per measure, unless we're playing a different key, but we're not. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That note could not be there. If we were doing that, we would need to have a quarter note and a tie over. Now that's a little bit advanced for what you and I are talking about. But if this were measures, we would count it as this. 1, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't connect my 16th notes. You probably noticed that, 16th notes, and then 8th notes. 1, 2, E, and a 3, and 4. So all of our notes, we would have 1, and 2, and 3, and 4, and, right? So if we see this, this note is not on the 1. 1 and 2 E and a. 2 E and a can't fit in the space of this. 16th notes. 1 E and a. So if I was counting 1 E and a, 1 E and a, 2 E and a. 1 E and a fits in the space of a 1 beat. 1 E and a, 2 and 3. So we would have this as a 2. 1 E and a, 3 and 4. We have a here, but it follows over here. That's why when we have that 4 there, this has to be a quarter note rather than an eighth note. We'll explain this later, but here's how it would feel, little buddy. Clap along. I'm gonna go slow, then we're gonna go fast. 1, 2 E and a, 3 and 4. And then when we start the next measure, we'd have 1, 2, and I can't have a whole note here because it's worth more than 3 beats, and it's a 4 beat. So I'm just gonna put a half note right here for 2 beats, and then finish it up with a quarter. Here's what it's gonna look like. 1, 2 E and a, 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4. Fun. 1. Fun with music. It was great seeing you today. Next week, we're going to play the drum set more. Aloha.